Hello, everyone. This is a disclaimer before you all get into the episode. Before you begin before you continue, I would like you to understand that anything and everything that we say on this podcast is our own opinion and our own, as well as these are also going to be spoiler alerts now. That if you have not seen this anime or have read the manga book, if there is one, then you should not probably continue until you have done so, unless you do not care about spoilers. This is just a disclaimer before moving forward. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Eclipse. We're going to be talking about vending machines and just a whole new anime I've experienced entirely, and it's going to be very interesting. Some weird talking points, different type of characters I'm not used to, and I'm going to have Leo go ahead and get us going.
So today we're talking about the anime Reborn as a vending machine. I now wanted a dungeon. So this anime is your same isekai story. Guy dies by truck and is teleported to another world. However, this time, instead of being an adventurer, the character is reborn as a Japanese vending machine.
I'd like to let you guys know, before we get into the anime in the episode, I would like you guys to like, comment, share with your friends, check out our YouTube if you haven't. We have an Instagram also, and if you're listening to this already on Spotify, then you're already here. Otherwise, let's get into it. So the first thing that we're probably going to talk about before jumping into the anime itself is we should talk about the real life vending machines in Japan and why it's a thing and why we think that's kind of related to why this anime exists. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Leo, who has more information than I do about these, but at the same time, I know they exist and they're way different in Japan over there. I know you can buy laptops. I know you can buy like underwear. I know you can buy all kinds of weird things from vending machines in Japan versus here in the US. And if they have those weird kind of vending machines here, I'm not aware of them.
So me personally, when I first heard about this anime from a friend, my first thought was, how in the fuck are you going to make an anime about a fucking vending machine? But then I did some research, guys, and it turns out that in Japan, there are over 5 million vending machines available of different varieties, practically for everything. So when I was doing my research the other night, turns out that Japan actually has a vending machine for like puppies, ties, hot soups, cold soups, anything that you can think of. There's probably a vending machine for it. So now I understand how they were able to make such an anime.
I mean, me personally, I don't know why we don't have some of these vending machines here. Like I feel like sometimes we need some of these different vending machines here, like to get electronics or to do this or do that. But then I also think we don't do it because of theft or because of vandalism and those kinds of things versus how things are over there. I don't know if that's what's making the big difference, but I think we could use some of those kind of vending machines out here.
I feel like America is just behind the times. Like they're just so run by stuffy old people that they don't keep up with the current events. Because I feel like America could run a little bit better with these vending machines.
I highly agree. Especially with, like I said, with laptops or with other objects or other things, or hell, you could even get away with selling coffee in a vending machine and put Starbucks up for its money.
What's one vending machine that you could use in your everyday life that you wish that we had in America?
Repeat the question one more time.
So I was asking you, what is a vending machine that you could use in your everyday life that you think Americans can benefit from?
That we don't already have here? I think vandalism is, if I had to just pick one, in my opinion, despite everything that could happen, I think vending machines that could sell like the laptops, the headphones, the electronics, those kinds of things. I think we could benefit those, especially if you put them in colleges where people buy new ones all the time or need new ones when school starts or those kinds of things. Otherwise, you could, I mean, just saying, you could take a grocery store and get rid of all the stuff that they have in there and set up vending machines in a row of assortments of everything from your vegetables, your fruits, to frozen stuff, to all that stuff in different vending machines. And you could just get your stuff that way. And you don't even have to have a checkout area because you're already buying it in the vending machine there. You can put it in your cart after you buy all that kind of shit. You don't even have to. Yeah. Well, how about you? How about, I mean, I can't, other than that kind of idea, I can't think of another for me personally. And I haven't been to Japan to see these things. So.
Okay, so hear me out. What if instead of having like an energy drink machine in the gym, we have like a pre-workout machine at the gym? Because you know how many times I forgot my pre-workout at home and I was like, fuck. I can just turn back.
I mean,
I just go in this bitch raw.
I feel like at that point it's just a product change. Like, okay, let's get rid of this and let's just put these in here. But yeah, I mean, I don't see why they don't just do both or have multiple. Thinking about it, I feel like a vending machine could just really replace a lot of things for people. So now we're gonna talk about our favorite characters from this vending machine anime. So out of all these characters, I do like Boxo a lot, but I like Director Bear probably the most, probably for obvious reasons. A lot of it has to do with the voice actor dude. And if it's not him, it's definitely Captain. Does he have a name that I'm not calling him by?
Let's just stick to Captain.
Okay. I was kind of hesitant to use it after the Helsing thing because they also have a captain. But it's a little weird that they kind of dress the same. I don't know if you noticed that either. But otherwise, yeah, Director Bear in the English dub, because that's all I watch. For all those who don't know, I don't watch subtitled things. So you can pick on me all you want. But Christopher Sabat is super well known for Dragon Ball Z, for Zoro and One Piece, and many, many, many other characters that we've probably already covered in this anime stuff that we do. And so bringing it up, since I already brought it up already, how much do you think these guys like get paid? Actually, I should probably look that up while I'm asking you.
For someone like Chris Sabat or someone like Bryce Papenbrook, they're probably hitting six figures right now just because of how long they've been in this industry and the frequency of like how much they're putting out. But for any other voice actor up and coming, not a lot of money, not enough to quit your day job.
I mean, so I think once you've made it like your name out there, I think you're past the boundary line of making that good money. But like right here, fuck, even on ZipRecruiter right now, $32 to $72 an hour as an hourly rate for a voice actor. So, which is, I mean, it's a lot, but it's not a lot. I guess it depends on how much of that you're doing. Cause yeah, so $32.72 an hour. So just for shits and giggles, how much do you think he makes specifically, like him?
I want to say like 42 an hour.
42. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. I don't know how to convert this stuff. Maybe you could probably do that. Highest earning anime voice actor for Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta was his highest grossing thing. I'm sure that's out of date by now, but 30 million yen. Oh, and it says right here about $270,000.
Sounds about right. Yep, that sounds about right. That's a popular ass anime.
Yeah, so going back to the anime thing, yeah, Director Bear is probably my favorite character of the whole thing. He leads this whole group of hunters in this organization. on top of what he's a guild leader. He's not a guild leader. He's just the director of the Hunters Association for the Clearflow Lake Stratum. And I don't even understand the stratum stuff. It's just like different areas, I guess, in their world. Like this whole anime is very short and very different. And I guess his real name is Bami, but they just call him Director Bear.
I was gonna say that this is a 12 episode anime. So what that means is you're not gonna get a bunch of characters. You're not gonna get 99 characters like you would with Naruto or something. You're getting 30 to pick from, and I promise you, out of 30, only like 10 of them are gonna be good. So with that being said, process of elimination. My favorite character was this young scientist named Hilame. I liked her just because she was the most level-headed of the group. Like she was able to figure out that Boxo or our main character wasn't your typical everyday thing outside of it being like a vending machine placed in another world. She understood immediately like you're a human soul placed inside of a vending machine.
Yeah, she wasn't even sure that a human soul was in it yet. Because she is a magical item engineer. So she doesn't even just work on this vending machine. She's just the expert in all these magical item stuff. She heard about like the human soul thing and wasn't sure that that's what had happened because it's only rumors that a human soul could be within these things. And then I guess her only other thing is that she is childhood friends with Lamas, which is the second most important character in this whole thing.
I mean, well, since you brought her up, like, what do you think about Lamas? Because me personally, like, I found her very annoying at first, but then like she kind of grew on me towards the end.
So Lamas to me, like, if it wasn't being Boxo's side partner, I guess, just like you, she kind of just grew on me because I didn't like her at all either. I really didn't. Like, I just felt like she had to be there for important reasons. But I also felt like when other characters showed up, like that stupid little girl that's rich that wants to buy her Boxo from her, if she showed up, no, I would like Lamas again. I don't like this other lady. So, yeah, kind of like a pick and choosing kind of situation based on what's going on. But over time, I didn't care until, like, I guess we got closer to the end of the situation. Then I kind of cared when something happened, but otherwise, not really.
Okay, so I get it. This is an anime and it's like purely fiction. It's cute or whatever. But for a stranger to come up to a vending machine in a world that has never seen a vending machine before and to be like, oh my gosh, will you be my friend? Like, that's complete bullshit because fuck you. Any other time, they would have burnt that thing to the ground.
If we're gonna talk about bullshit, we're gonna talk about bullshit. This whole anime is bullshit. That's my opinion here. Cause okay, it was one thing. Don't get me wrong. The anime is cute. It's humble. It's nice. It's great. No big deal. It's just different. I get that, and I'm still a baby to all these anime things. So, but the fact that you could tell me that the vending machine like has not just powers, like I'm thinking it's a real vending machine at first, and there's like, oh no, I got all these cool abilities. I gotta spend points on them, and then people put money into me, and I do these things. But to just have never ending food, and you can just change everything at will. Oh come on, that's like cheating. Like, come on. And then on top of that, oh, I can change my form to be other vending type of machines. They never said he could do that before. It's just part of his reward system thing that he can do because he's magical. When you can bring magic into this like that, things kind of get weird, and it's hard to argue because it's their thing with him. And what's weird is that none of the other characters know what he can do, obviously because he can't talk, but at the same time he can just do these things. That's bullshit. Oh, I'm going to make a balloon vending machine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a woman product vending machine with tampons and other things. Come on. These characters somehow don't know what these things are or what they're used for. That was a little weird to me.
Yeah, no, because like looking at that and like seeing how like the creators consistently changed, Boxo's abilities to fit the scenario perfectly, and then everyone's just going along with it. I'm just looking at this shit and I'm like, ain't no way, ain't no fucking way that y'all just going with the flow. But some of his forms, like the female product one, that was actually interesting to me because I don't think I've run into an anime where they bring up that situation, because I've watched a lot of adventure animes, fantasy animes, and it's always kind of like a thing that runs in the back of my head, like what do these girls do if they get their periods? Like, what are they supposed to do at this time period? And for them to actually like bring that up, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's actually like really cool of you to do that.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that he brought it up. That's not a thing. Like you said, not most animes really do this kind of thing or bring this stuff up, and it does here because I feel like this whole anime is just a slice of life situation. Like it just brings this stuff up, and the whole thing where he brings up it's a condom thing. Like I'm really curious about this world not knowing about some of these products, or I'm trying to think because they don't bring it up on their end of it. We only know what Boxo brings. Like, he brings up this stuff, and we know it from our world and his world because he's from our world. But this world, what are they doing? Just screwing raw? Like, are they? Like, they don't have any protection? There's no diseases? There's no what? They don't bring up anything. They don't bring up any of this stuff. They brought the condom out, and they made jokes about it here and there, but they didn't really, like, say what it was, but we knew what it was. And it had like the sticky stuff on it. Oh, come on. These people don't know what this is. And there's instructions in the products he's giving them, I'm sure. On top of just like, so even with the female product thing, okay. So if this is a natural occurrence in their life, what were they doing before Boxo showed them this?
From what it looks like, I guess the adventurer women were just walking around with a trail of blood behind them.
Like, it really begs the question of, okay, Boxo, cool idea. That's neat. Okay, my question, what were you doing before this? Oh, we don't talk about it? Okay, move on. Like, it's really just, okay. You can't bring up those kind of topics and then not get really awkward or questioned about it, in my opinion. And they just move right along.
Yeah, no, this anime has a lot of like, what the fuck is going on here moments. Like, if you were to walk in at a certain like point and you like saw me watching it, you're gonna think like, yo, what the fuck is this kid watching? This is that anime shit she likes? And I'm like, no, wait, I can't explain. It's not like this all the time. I'm just doing it for the podcast. God.
Actually, that was one of the other things too. Is like, so if I haven't seen it and I'm watching stuff, and I brought this up several other times before. Like, I'll be talking to my friends when I'm at the card shop or something, and they're like, oh, have you seen this anime, or have you seen this, or whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm busy doing homework for the podcast we're doing. And I'm like watching multiple animes at once so I can like do this stuff. So like, don't recommend any more to me right now. I'm busy. So, but yeah, no, this is definitely one of those animes that like, you already said it once, if you walk in on somebody at the wrong time, it's gonna look bad. So,
but with all that being said, yes, this anime does have a lot of like twists and turns to it, but it's nothing like it's a wound cut. It's nothing deep. But the characters, a majority of the characters are pretty one dimensional. You see them like once or twice in the episodes. So we didn't have a lot of selection when it comes to our favorite characters. So like Redman said, Bear was a pretty good character. Hilame was a really good character. The only other good character that was in there is probably the captain, because he adds some will he or won't he kind of thing. Is he a good guy or does he have bad intentions?
Yeah. And the fact that this I mean, we'll probably get more into it later, but the fact that this is getting a second season, there's going to be a lot more to unpack and explore with this after that. So let's go ahead and start talking about our favorite scene for this vending machine anime. We'll go ahead and start with Leo first.
Leo's still trying to think of one.
Okay. I'll go first. Cause I kind of already have multiple picked out of these things. So I think my favorite scene has to be where he fights the giant alligator boss thing that everybody's afraid of. I forget what they call them. And I guess when you defeat these bosses, they drop these special coins, and you need these coins in order to get like a wish or something like that you want granted, and some kind of weird bullshit like that. But no, the scene that I'm talking about is it's like their very first big boss that they encounter, besides the frog, and they're all trying to run away and escape and whatever. And then he gets kind of like left behind with this giant alligator thing, and he ends up getting eaten and swallowed up by the alligator. He's in his stomach. He's using a barrier to survive. I feel like I'm explaining nonsense to somebody because it's just a vending machine. You guys have to just watch it to understand. But then the vending machine starts spitting out all kinds of different things into its stomach, causing it to explode, kill itself, and next thing you know it, there's just skeleton bones everywhere in this big crater from the explosion, and then the vending machine, and that's it. And then it drops the coin, and then there's another thing that happens afterwards, but I'm not going into that next thing. So, yeah, that's my favorite scene so far. Not my favorite episode. Favorite scene.
It's just the fact that he turned into a cardboard box. That was just like...
My question is, how come he didn't do that sooner? Like to become lighter, easier to carry?
I think to answer that question is that he's still figuring out that body as we're figuring him out. So I guess that kind of answers a lot of the questions of how the fuck are you able to do this? He's like, I don't fucking know.
Well, he has to go through. See, that's the other thing about this, especially this anime. So he has specific menu power stuff that he can spend his points on to get other abilities. That's fine. That's great. That's dandy. And it's logical for how he's explaining it. But I can't read Japanese, so all the stuff they're showing on the menu screen, I don't know the options he has. I don't know all that stuff, and he doesn't really go over them. So it's like, oh, let me take a peek at what stuff you can do out of all your options, and you're going to pick this one? Why didn't you pick the other one? I don't know if it was that way on purpose, but of course in Japan, they could read what's on that screen. I can't. And they don't even have them in subtitles on there. So I'm not quite sure. Like, you know, hey, I want to see what he can pick from kind of thing. So
I thought they told you, like the water, the canned corn or shit like that.
Not everything. There's some stuff they show you and some things they tell you, but they don't, like when it's like a big list of stuff, then he's trying to select one. No, they don't show everything. Or if the camera's at like a weird angle when he's trying to select stuff, no, it doesn't show everything either.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like what your experience is going to be if you or I like went to Japan. Like, we're not gonna be able to read it. We just got to pick from pictures.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, and I know it's because I watch dubbed anime and I don't know how to read Japanese, so it's my fault. But at the same time, it's just like if you can translate this stuff, can we do more translation than that? But
honestly, you shouldn't take the blame for that. Honestly, it's not even the anime's fault. I blame Crunchyroll for not having like those subtitles available for us to read.
So, but yeah. So was that your only favorite thing? Was him turning into the cardboard?
Fuck no. I'll give it a little more credit than that. So for me, my favorite scene was when they were in the graveyard stratum. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when they're in the graveyard stratum, Lemus is like really scared of the dark and everything, and Hilame is like trying to help her conquer that. And she's I think she told her something like, so you can walk around the town now with Boxo, right? She's like, yeah. She's like, okay, cool. You want to try doing it yourself? No, because that is the most me answer I've ever heard in anime. There ain't no way in hell you about to tell me to go into some scary shit by myself. Fuck you.
Well, like Boxel said, she was very quick to answer that one.
Because you got me 12 shades of fucked up. Like, no, there's dead people who factually come out at night. No, we're not doing this.
Oh, I have to bring this scene up, and it's probably, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own, but it's kind of a little fucked up, but I had to bring this scene up since we're talking about scenes. The whole thing where that little kid coming up to Boxo to try and get his thing, and the zombie kid's learning to use the vending machine, and then that other guy just straight up kills him at some point after Boxo's already gotten this attachment. Oh, I don't know about you, but that was kind of fucked up. And even though Boxo's like, hey, I know it's not his fault, but at the same time,
Jackass, that was my favorite episode.
So
move on. Just move on.
Just move on. All right. Well, since you brought it up,
we know that you guys are really into the episode, but we just want to take a quick moment and let you guys know or remind you to like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. That way we can make more episodes in the future. All right, let's get back to the episode.
So let's go ahead, talk about favorite episodes. You go ahead.
Redman already brought it up. But my favorite episode, I think, is episode 8. 8 out of 12, I think. And in this episode, they're in the graveyard stratum, and so they put Boxo outside the inn. And at night, a bunch of dead people come out, and they kind of like examine him, trying to figure like, what the hell are you? And then there's this one little boy ghoul in particular that comes up and visit Boxo every night, and he kind of like Boxo gives him food or whatever. You know, it's kind of like, and they create like this pseudo relationship through that. Right off the bat, it's a little fucked up because you think like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, that kid is dead. And and then later in the episode, they go out into the woods, and these two guys are on guard with Boxo, and the little boy comes out the woods and he has money on him because he wants to pay for the food. But the two guys didn't know that because Boxo can't talk. He can't say like, oh my gosh, wait, that's my little friend. So what happens is the two guys end up killing the little boy because they think he's an enemy. And it's my favorite episode because to me, it's like one of the few episodes that has actual sustenance to it. Like it's not a nonsense thing. It's actually like a really serious thing. So that's kind of like why I liked it.
I mean, it had its moments more so than some of the other episodes for sure. Again, my bad. Didn't know I called out your favorite, your thing right there. But yeah, I thought that whole scene was pretty fucked up that the other guy just killed him off and was like, oh, that's a bad guy, I gotta get rid of him. And then he already created this relationship with that thing. Favorite episode for me, I don't know if it's the last one or the one before the last one or if it's just both. But where they go and fight the big skeleton boss guy. I don't know what stratum they're in. And they think that that's like the main boss dude of that place. And I really like the conversation that, well, I guess it's not conversation, but I guess the skeleton's reactions to what they're doing to him. Oh, you think that's gonna do this? Well, then I'll just do this wind thing and push you back. There's just this whole little thing going on, but he's like a serious kind of boss compared to what they've been dealing with before. But I feel like you said with the other thing, I feel like those last episodes, and I don't want to spoil too much, so I'm not going to go into that so you guys can watch it, but I feel like there's a lot more at the very end of this anime on top of very few segments in the rest of the anime that make it worth watching for more substance and more, I guess, to keep you captivated, to keep you interested. And if you're a character investment type of person, then this anime toward the end will do that for you. And they do hint at a season 2. I've already looked it up. They're already working on it. So if you're interested It's coming.
Nah, because that boss, that was so the power of friendship. I was like, this is so fairy tale coded.
Well, I don't feel like it was that coded. I don't feel like it's a whole I need to scream my lungs out for Soul Eater's ending type of business. I think it was a little dumb that they could save their friends the way they did, especially when the boss already said, they're not waking up. But I mean, if the anime wasn't done the way it was done, I wouldn't be interested in season 2 at all.
Yeah. So the way they brought their friends back to life, here's the thing. He almost had me thinking that they weren't going to come back. But then I was like, given the nature of this show, this is like the Disney version of anime. Like, no one's really going to die here. I just want to see, like, how the fuck are you going to do it?
Yeah. I mean, they did it in obviously the cheesiest way possible. No, even though you have a magical fucking vending machine, you guys do it in the cheesiest way possible of just CPR and this other method, and okay, we're just gonna do it how we do it in real life and hope for the best. And of course, it worked. I was kind of hoping it wasn't gonna work, and they'd have to go through some trial and tribulation bullshit to bring these people back. No, yeah. So I mean, that's my favorite episode or episodes out of the 12 that there are. Funniest moments. Okay, so oh boy. This anime has a bunch of weird segments that I kind of just laughed at here and there just because these people don't know things from our world. So kind of going back to the whole weird perverted stuff, the whole thing where he basically gave him a condom and said that was going to help in some way. And they had no idea what they were looking at. And then they ripped it open and it's like, oh, what's this stuff? And it's like, oh, that's the lubricant on the thing. And they don't know what that is. And he didn't say nothing. And obviously Boxo can't talk. So, and on top of that, it's a bear and a human looking at the same object. And they've never seen this before. I was cracking up that these people have, and like I said before, I was really questioning what these people do in their own real life terms before Boxo showed up.
So for me, like my sense of humor is very dark and twisted. Like I laugh at shit that no one should ever laugh at. But this anime is quite clearly built for kids or like a younger audience. So like Redman. I'm not even gonna say like Redman. Like I honestly only laughed because like when someone talks to you and they're trying to make a joke, but you don't want to be rude, so you just do the ha. Like that's literally me the entire anime. It's a courtesy laugh.
Yeah, I feel like that's. I mean, I don't know if it's just because we're older. I think it's just this anime. It's trying to do a lot, but at the same time. They're trying to go, oh, I'm not from this world. Let me explain these things. But then you can't talk. So you have to do these weird things or animations or do your little talking stuff as you do as a vending machine to get these people to understand you. And how are you going to explain what woman products are or condoms are as a vending machine to somebody when those people have no idea what you handed them?
I mean, they just looked at pictures, and I guess, like, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, really?
I mean, if it wasn't for that human girl, pretty much, like, after looking at the instructions, she said, oh, yeah, this is gonna help. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what you guys' situation is in your real life terms, but yeah, it's gonna help a lot. So, also, like, Not even to be rude or anything of the matter, but this is definitely like I think this appeals to quite a bit of audiences, younger audiences, people who are interested in this type of like go friendly kind of anime, slice of life kind of weird stuff. The furry community, I even think would like this. Again, not to be rude about it. It's just got a little bit of everything. in it that it's just enough to keep you interested, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say it's for everybody. Like, but at the same time, it's got enough of everything kind of for everybody, but more like here and there kind of things.
But back to like the funniest moments. I guess the funniest moment for me will probably be the final episode when the girls are all giving Boxo a kiss, and then it gets to Lemus and she's all like being shy or whatever. And then like you can see Boxo blushing, and I'm like, you mean to tell me that a vending machine is over here pulling girls? To me, that was just funny.
Well, it was funny to me, but at the same time, by that point, when they did the whole talking about, oh, well, we could wish him back to being a person rather than a vending machine. And I'm just like, oh, well, they kind of already know that it's a dude in a thing, but at the same time, they're all going to fight over that once he does. And it's going to be really, really, it's going to be a harem thing immediately afterward. That's how I feel it's going to be.
So there's like talk of him like getting his body back. And I'm just like, so you guys do realize that he won't be as useful anymore. Like, are you still going to love him? What if it turns out to be ugly? Are you still going to like have a crush on him?
Well, remember, he did save people's lives. And he's basically a hero as a vending machine in multiple ways, despite anything. And if you know anime and what these people do for other people and that kind of thing, that should be interesting to see how that plays out. But I also feel like, based off everything Boxo has said, I don't think he's going to want to be human. I think he's just going to stay as a vending machine because he feels like he's useful in that way.
And to me, that's just stupid.
All right.
Like, what are some ways? Wait, what are some ways that they can come between that? Like, can he be like part human, part vending machine? Like, have human characteristics, but like be able to shoot fucking cans from his hand or some shit? Take quarters up his ass?
Realistically, it's way too hard because it just is. It's just too hard. I can't even think of like what if they'd have to make him strong enough to carry the vending machine and be a human at the same time. Like if let's say they turned like one of his arms into the vending machine and he's got the rest of his body, he'd have to somehow be able to lift that to move. And then on top of that, you have, well, what if the vending machine was attached to his back? Okay, he still has to lift it and carry it. There's just no way. He's just going to have to pick one or the other.
So, we are almost done with today's episode, but first, Redman, I got a couple questions for you. If you were put into this anime, what type of adventurer would you be? Would you be in a guild or not? And what stratum would you be in?
Since it's hard to pick a stratum just because I feel like there's more to the situation than we know. But if I had to pick out of the four that we have, probably the origin stratum, just because there's no super threat there and it's probably an easy place to start off. Yeah, I would like to be a part of the guild thing, not the particular one that they were following, but the other one that night guy was from. I don't know if you mentioned the name of it.
Are you talking about the one that's trying to kill him?
The blonde-haired night guy that all the girls are googly for, and he can't really talk to them. I just can't remember his name.
No, I know the guy, but I'm talking about his guild. Are you talking about the guys that are trying to kill him? You want to be part of that guild?
No, his. Isn't he part of like some other thing, or is he just some lone thing?
I think because of his social anxiety, they explained that he's a loner.
Oh, well, if I wasn't paired in something that like he's attached to, because I thought he was a part of some other thing, then yeah, no, I'd be a loner too. The world is too weird, in my opinion, to like not want to be on your own, especially when you got talking vending machines.
So what kind of adventurer would you be?
That I'm not sure. Because based on how this would work, I mean, I'd probably be like the rest of these guys. If I knew, because there's so much I don't know about this stuff and they don't explain things. But I would definitely be on that hunt of trying to kill one of these things to get one of those coins to get my wish granted like everyone else. I'm assuming that's kind of what these people are all after, if you know about it.
So, like, would you like have like some sort of goal or anything, or are you just like doing this for the hell of it?
I'm probably just doing it for the hell of it, like guaranteed. I don't think that the world's not built enough that, in my opinion, that I could have a goal to work toward, to do, to know, to have. I don't know enough about this world to have one. So yeah, probably just be for the hell of it.
If I was put in this universe, honestly, I think I would be like one of the more rogue adventurers, the ones that are kind of like a lone wolf. I have a sword and everything, very rough spoken. And I only have like my best friend or kind of like my brother or friend with me to like go on adventures together. We'll probably stay primarily on the Clearflow Lake, but I think our ultimate goal will probably be to be like the world's best adventurers or something like that.
Yeah, see, to me, that's got a better premise than being a vending machine. Let's go ahead and we're going to wrap this up with our closing statements for this anime. So, did you want to talk about how this anime was first, or did you just want to talk about your predictions for season 2 first?
Season 2 first.
All right. So, my predictions for season 2 is I feel like we're not going to end on getting their wishes. I feel like there's going to be a season 3 tie-in toward the end of it. I don't think they want to end this yet, even though I think they should. Because, again, if it wasn't for how they're doing it, I don't think I'd be interested in moving forward. But somehow, there's just enough here to keep me wanting to go. And I don't know what it is that's got me into this weird thing. But I think that they're going to fight, obviously, more of the Overlord stuff. They're still going to fight that skeleton guy again, because he said that he wasn't done. I also feel like if they actually want to do something about something, maybe Captain's actually a bad guy, and we find out more about it later that he's actually working for one of these stratums and is leading these people to doing these things, and we're just unaware of it at the moment. But that's all I got for predictions for the next thing.
So I definitely feel you on the Captain thing. I think he is going to have a more negative impact in this anime next season, but he will definitely be playing a bigger role. But I think his negative actions will be influenced by some moral reasoning, like maybe he has a dead wife or child that he's trying to bring back to life or something. And that will lead to more like of the backstory of the rest of the guild members. I think after season 2, I don't think they're going to do like an entire new season because there's not enough material for that. But they might do like a 1-hour special about like them fighting the skeleton guy and Boxo choosing either to get his body back or choosing to stay a vending machine. He'll most likely choose vending machine, but we just got to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I feel like he's just going to choose the vending machine, despite what everyone else wants. Because if he does choose to be a human, I feel like it's just going to turn into all these girls wanting this man because he saved all their lives in some stupid way. And they're just going to treat him like a hero.
So, what is your review? Your final review of this anime? Like, what would you rate it?
Okay, so 1 out of 10. It's kind of hard because given what the anime is, and I don't exactly have a thing to go off of from it. In general, I'm probably going to give it a 6 out of 10 because it has a lot of questionable things. It has a lot of you really just have to be into it's a slice of life kind of business. It's kind of like this person's trying to teach these other people about other life things that happened in his world, and he's having a hard time because of I want to say a language barrier, but there isn't one. It's just that he's a vending machine. But otherwise, I could give it a higher rating for enjoyability, but it's just it's not. It could have been better in some other ways, but it does have me interested in the season 2 part. So I am slightly interested in that. But otherwise, yeah, no, I'm just gonna say 6 out of 10.
So, like I said before, this anime is definitely for the younger audience. It is very random, very inconsistent, but it does have its good points. It does have some emotional ties to it, some character development. It does give the audience like medicine, like it teaches them some things. And it taught us some things about like Japan's vending machine system that we didn't know before. But outside of that, it is kind of like it is a shallow anime. So for me, I would rate it like a 5 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but anyone who would come up to me and ask me, I want to like dip my toe in the anime, then I would recommend this to them as kind of like an introductory thing.
I don't know that I would. I don't feel like it's an introductional kind of thing. Then again, I'm still new to this whole stuff, so my recommendations are very high priority business. But
no, you're right. Like it's like you have to be a very specific person for me to introduce this to. Like if you watch Attack on Titan, I'm not about to tell you to watch this shit.
Like I would try to recommend something like a small anime like this, like a 12 episode thing or a small thing to them, but I don't know enough small animes yet to go, hey, go check this out. It's not long, and then tell me what you think. No, most of my animes are so far pretty long, and I haven't even finished them. So yeah, so that's a thing. But otherwise, yeah. That's our closing statements. That's our ratings. That's our thing. Also, that's everything we have to say without giving spoilers away. But if you're interested to check it out, it's not very long. So
that is our show. Thank you for sticking around with us. We'll see you guys next time.